Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Thursday morning and an edition of Ken versus 10. As always, each and every week, I'm the Ken part of the show, and the 10 part of the show is my death pile or my money pile, depending on what you like to call it, is where I take on my death pile each week, listing 10 items that I'm going to try to sell before next week's show and just kind of keep a running tab on that and see what I can sell. What can I sell? And we'll say some good mornings. Kim T is here. Good morning, Kim. Good to see you, my friend. And as always, bright and early, AZ Cats Sue is here checking out the show. I appreciate everyone that comes and watches the show. And so today, not only today am I going to be listing, okay, on today's show, what I am doing, I've been really diligent here lately about looking through older items that have been in my store for a while and ending selling similar, really checking out the listings, making sure that comp values are still good, that if I needed to take any new photographs, if I needed to tweak the descriptions or the titles or anything, and so that's what I am doing today. I was up to my electronics tub. I had listed some electronics a couple weeks ago, some new stuff that I put up. And that made me, as I was filing that stuff away, that made me start to look at some of the stuff that was in that bin that had been there for a while. Some of it listed a little more recently than others, but really hasn't had a good peek at it yet. So, and Sue has been listing and cross listing before the day job. Very good. Yep, got to get that work in at some point. And there is my dear sweet mother. It's a very special day besides your show. It is a very special day. Yes, ending and re-listening. Ping G is here. Good morning, Ken, and the chat. And my mother. Yes, it is a special day today, for it is my parents. Oh, what did I do? I just almost messed something up. I'm going to throw this up here. Happy anniversary to my mom and dad. I put their name up there, Judy and Fred, in case somebody wanted to give them a shout out. Maybe in the comments later, if you're watching this, throw out a happy 60th anniversary to my mom and dad. They're right next door. They are going to a luncheon today, so they'll miss part of the show, but they will watch some of this a little bit later in the day. But happy anniversary. I'll probably throw that up there several times throughout the day. Um, and Judy, 50% off Valentine's candy. Oh, yeah. Watching well editing. There's Mike Go Snow editing a new video. Go check out Mike's channel. Him and Miss Katz put out good, good content. My brain is scattered here trying to look at the chat. I got a little bit behind. Yep, my folks are off to the prime timers luncheon. Um, yes, 60 years. Congrats to my folks. That's amazing. So 64 they were married. 1964, not 1864. You know, they're pretty old, but they're not that old. Um, yes, quite a milestone for sure. And some hellos from Kim and to Ping and from Ping. So, um, today I talked about ending and relisting items and stuff. So today I'm going to do that with some out of my electronics tub. Some of it is a little more electronic-y. Is that a word? Electronic-y than others. But and then I've got a mac and cheese, another mac and cheese review. We're gonna do Wicked Kitchen Smoky Picnic, but it's a smoky bacon mac and cheese. So how did that stack up to Kraft macaroni and cheese? I know what you're saying already. You're saying, Ken, this is unfair. It has bacon in it. I mean, everything's better with bacon, right? Am I right or am I right? So we're going to get through some of this listing stuff right away so that we can get to that. And I guess I want to start out just saying that people are nuts out there, not in the reselling community. Well, hopefully they're not in a reselling community, but thoughts and prayers out to the folks in Kansas City. Um, I just saw this morning on the news there was a shooting. You know, the Super Bowl had just ended, and the Kansas City fans were having their parade and their celebration and everything, and some crazy knucklehead people felt that they needed to shoot up the crowd, and there was some deaths and quite a few people injured in that. And I don't know anything else other than that than just to say, you know, what's wrong? What's wrong in the world with people that they feel they have to go shoot up a crowd? It's nuts. And so to all of those families that are um, the injured and the deceased in that, definitely thinking about you folks for sure. And also thinking about Patrick Murphy. Why, yes, hello, chat, sneaking in remote Patrick to say hi and light up that thumbs up. Yeah, hit that thumb for me if you would. Um, yes, Patrick is here for the new mac and cheese review. We're going to do that here a little bit later. Danny is here, Pickwell Resellers. Hey, Ken and everyone. Good to see you, Danny, for sure. Hopefully, I think the last time you were in, it was maybe had some pneumonia, and hopefully you're recovering well from that. Um, Checking some messages here, um, and Roman is here. Hello, everyone. Good morning, Roman. Anytime picker. Always good to see. Roman had a killer hat sale the other day. I saw on one of his videos, like a short or a story, something like that. Go check out Roman's page. Almost healed. Um, good to hear that, Danny, for sure. Yeah, Roman. Yeah, go check out Roman's page. Check out that killer hat sale that he had on a vintage Cleveland Indians. And Jill is here. Good morning, Jill. And okay. So I am going to list some stuff before I get to that macaroni and cheese review. I'm going to list a few things here. Again, these are items that are electronic items that have been in my death pile for, well, no. Scratch that. They weren't in a death pile. They are listed inventory that has been here for a while. And uh yeah, my mother says, "Hiya, Jill," and Nancy. Nancy's probably watching there. Nancy is Jill's mother out in the comfort of the cabin, probably watching the show. So we'll always say hi to Nancy. She doesn't really message in the chat, but she's usually watching along. Um, am I still doing a podcast? Yes. Right up here, the Reseller Clickbait Podcast comes out every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And I do that with Corey over at Grams and Pops from Grams and Pops Vintage. And yeah, we talk reselling and nonsense and whatever's going on. But speaking of podcasts, I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything, but everybody needs to go check out my friend Caleb over at the Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. He had a big announcement this morning on the show, and that came out at like 10 o'clock this morning. And I'm not gonna do spoilers here on my show because I want you to go support them over at the Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. Um, I should throw a link up to that. Where's my where's my stuff? Right here. Let's oh, where is it? Come on now. I'm gonna call this up and videos and Let's see if I can share that, copy that link. There we go. And I'm going to throw that down there. Go check out the latest episode, the big announcement over there. Again, I don't want to be a spoiler for them. Um, and I see Soda City Flip Shane is here. Hello, Ken, and everyone who is not Ken. I've heard that someplace before. Good to see you, Shane. Um, yeah, and go check out the Reseller Clickbait podcast as well. I would appreciate that. Some subs and some likes and some thumbs up and views and all of that stuff. But definitely appreciate that. And go check out Shane too. Shane over Soda City Flips, and then he also does the podcast with the Locker Room, the Locker Room Reseller Locker Room podcast. I think that's the name of it. I don't know if anybody's a mod there and wants to throw in links to some of that stuff. Um, Chris, the Cajun reseller. When is Ken going to buy a storage unit? Morning, all. I want to do that. That's a goal this year. I got to get down to the end of the street here and talk to the guy that there's a storage facility like 5 houses down, 6 houses down from me, and, I gotta get down there and talk to that fella again. I'm pretty good friends with him now at this point, and, yep, the Reseller Locker Room podcast, new episode dropped this morning. Go check that out too. Yeah, if somebody like, say, somebody wants to grab the links to those, but, so let me list, a couple of things here before we get to the, what everybody's waiting for, that mac and cheese review. Um, so I'm just gonna pull. Oh, here we go. This is kind of 3 different listings. Anytime I'm out at yard sales, thrift stores, a lot of times at yard sales, and I can find new blank media. That's got opened up a little bit, but new blank media, um, tapes, cassette tapes, VHS tapes, blank CDs, blank, recordable CDs, any of that type of media, I try to pick up. Now, all of these items that I have, I have went in and pulled down the listings. I ended the listings, and I'm doing a sell similar on them, so they all come up and get refreshed as a new list. Oh, much like I did last week with the Easter plush. So an update on last week's show was, Ken versus 10, and I got trounced pretty bad. I sold one Easter plush, so it was Ken 1, Death Pile 9, last week's show. But the intent of ending and relisting that Easter plush was because we're all, at that time we were about almost 2 months out from Easter. So I ended that, relisted it so it would get a fresh new number and new eyes and a bump up in eBay listings. And but all of that so that at the beginning of March, when it kind of cycles back around to where it relists either automatically or I might end and relist it again at that time, it um so it'll come up then right there before Easter. That was my intent on there. Billsy Bear Memories is here. Good morning, Billsy. Good to see you. Um, yeah, always pick up that blank media. There's Larry way out one. Hey, Ken, Chris, Jill, Shane, and Danny. Uh, I made a deal with Larry a couple weeks ago. When I did some vintage electronics, I had some 8-track tape players, which a lot of folks in the chat, Larry, um, Chris Cajun was helping out. There's some other folks, weighing in on how I should list those, if I should test them. And I did test them and they did work. And so Larry had kind of hit me up on the side and say, hey, if you haven't sold those, yet or whatever, he was interested. So I made a good deal with Larry on the side. And shipped that off to him, which was nice because I didn't have eBay fees and stuff in it. But since that time, since I shipped that out to him, like 2 days after that, I sold one of the units. I had 3 of them all together, and I paid $8 a piece for them, and, I sold one through eBay for $100. Someone gave me I had ended up listing him at 129.99. Somebody sent me an offer for, $100. And so, being as the ones that I sold to Larry, I was already kind of in the profit on those. I went ahead and, did what? Oh, took that best offer at $100. Chris is saying that he found $300 in cash in this one. In one of your, storage units? Man, that's see? You get me excited, Chris. I gotta do that. I wanna do that. Um, I always catch, the end of your podcast, Shane, just a bit too early for me in California. Uh, yeah, Shane does his, yeah, that's a pre-recorded if you're talking about the Locker Room podcast, you can catch that anytime. Um, but Shane does a live on Monday evenings. Shane does a live all the time. Seems like every time I turn on YouTube or sit down, Shane's going live doing something. Building up those view hours, those watch hours, but his Monday night show is pretty cool. Happy Thursday, beautiful people. New England Betty Boop. Hey, look at this right here. Look, I still got my Valentine's decorations up from the other day. I won this on a Whatnot auction. Uh, Lisette, New England Betty Boop on Whatnot was having an auction, and she does, I think, a lot of times Saturday evenings she has those, and other times throughout the week. But she was doing a giveaway, and I won this cool gnome, a Valentine's gnome, and this is a wreath thing that Jill had made. Jill actually look how blingy and glittery and stuff, and she made those. That was pretty cool. So I hung that up right there. Um, yeah, and there's Jill throwing out some links for the reseller clickbait podcast. Um, and also the reseller locker room podcast there. So go click on those and check those channels out. Roman's Saturday. Yes, Roman, anytime picker. I always enjoy a Saturday evening. We were out with friends over last Saturday evening and celebrating a birthday with one of our friends. And I missed Roman's show. However, Jill still checked in. Jill checked in just to say hey during the show. Um, and for those of you that are popping in here, maybe in the comments, uh, when they see it, where's it at? Today is my parents, Judy and Fred, my mom and dad. It's their 60th wedding anniversary today. So maybe in the comments of this video when it's up on the live page or whatever, or even in here, say happy anniversary to my folks. Um, yes, because apparently I like Roman more than you do. I think apparently is not even the right word. I think it's because I definitely like Roman more than I like you. Uh, and Jill saying happy birthday to my folks on their anniversary. No, I'm just messing with you, Jill. Um, so anyway, blank media. I got some TDK D90s. I've got some Sony HF 60s. There's one, two, three, four, five, a lot of 6 of those. And I also have another lot of 8 TDK D90s. Everything is all sealed of these. So I always pick them up and they usually sell, kind of seems to go in spurts. Like all of a sudden, they'll just sell a bunch of blank media. But all of those ones have been listed for a while. So all of these items, then I went through and I reduced the price on everything because they've all been sitting around for a while. I did some recomps and things like that. So I'm going to list all 3 of those lots right now and maybe get some fresh eyes with a little bit lower price. we'll see. We'll see if I can move some of those off the shelf. Um, yes, Jill typed that wrong. Uh, so there we go. We're off and running. Those are what do I got left here? Yeah, although those were 3 different lots, I'm only counting them as 1 on Ken versus 10 today because they were such like items. Let's see what I got right here. This vintage Casio TV 480. It's a small little whoop, I never point to the right side. It's a small little handheld portable color TV set. Um, it is working. I don't believe that it was ever used. It's still in the original packaging, plus the instructions are in there. And I had got that from a friend of mine that was doing a clean out. His folks were moving. Well, his father was moving to a retirement home. They were cleaning out their place. And think I had talked about that here recently, that I got first peek. They had an estate sale company that was going to come in and organize everything and sell it, but he let me come in first and go through everything, and which was cool. I picked up a lot of really good stuff, and that being one of them, the TV 480, and he made me like really super good deals on it. And Mike, the death pile picker, is here. Good morning, Ken and Chat. Hey, Mike, what's up? Good to see you. Where did I last see Mike? That was cracking me up. He was on a live with somebody. Jill might know because she told me, "Hey, Mike, I forget, but good to see you here." So the TV 480 Casio is going to, what do I have this listed for? About 30 bucks. I think I did have it at 35, and I'm going down to 29.99 on that. And yes, that's where it was. It was on Shane's show. Jumped on with Shane. Mike is always entertaining for sure. So we're going to relist that one at the 29.99, and buyer paying shipping on that, and list it, and off and running with that one as well. Oh, there's another anniversary. I was talking about this the other day, I think. This month, well, what do you consider to be, tell me in the chat here, what do you consider to be your reselling anniversary? And I'll tell you why I ask. So what I started as a reseller, I started full time. I was never part time. I just jumped right in, basically from leaving a previous job, not having a direction, got into reselling. But February the 11th, so just a couple days ago, February the 11th of 2020 is when I started reselling, or that's when I listed my very first item. It was February the 23rd before I sold my first item. So, what do you consider to be your reselling anniversary? Is it the day that I first listed, or is it the day that I first sold? Which was cool because, I had listed this stuff, and I had been, trying to list some things from around the house and some stuff that I had, from watching tons of videos. I had started going out to the thrift stores and picking up some things, and listed them. And so, is it the day that I listed something, or is it the day that I sold something? Oh, and I got that cha-ching. It's like, man, what's that sound coming out of my phone? And look down, and there's a little eBay icon up there. Uh, Jill says, I did not realize how funny Mike is until the other night in the Whatnot train. He is hilarious. Yes. Mike has always got good comments, for sure. And there is Bama Jaybird Resell. Good morning, Josh. How are you, my friend? I just watched um your new video that came out. I watched that this morning when I was prepping for the show, and um good stuff. Good stuff about, staying motivated and listing stuff when you can. Sometimes it's easy to kind of get out of the rhythm of listing stuff, but just, keep moving on. And there was a comment in the comments that somebody had asked a question. um, do you think that it matters how many items you're listing a day? And the thought was that they list 5 items a day, but maybe they're low on inventory or whenever, low on inventory. So maybe they have to go down to just listing 1 item a day or maybe 2 items a day. And they wanted to know if that was looked upon negatively by eBay, maybe in the algorithm or whatever. Um, and I was gonna comment under their comment, with my thoughts, um, which was, um, I don't think that it matters. I think eBay likes, sellers to be active in their stores. I don't think that you're gonna be affected negatively by, like, consistently listing 5 and then going down to 1, and I wouldn't even say that it was a negative thing. Um, just if you're not listing the stuff, it's definitely 100% of the time, it's not going to sell if it is not listed. But if, you're short on inventory, you don't have as good, sourcing opportunities or time to go out and source, maybe you work, a regular full-time job and you're just doing this part-time and you can't get to the thrift stores when they're open. You can't get to yard sales during the day. Um, list what you can, stay active, be active in your store with ending listings, reselling, shuffling things around, changing some pictures, getting that stuff refreshed. And I don't think that eBay would necessarily ding you, or look negatively upon it. They just like to have active sellers. And if you're putting in an effort and you're putting that out, I don't think you're negatively impacted. If somebody disagrees with that, let me know here in the chat. I'd love to see what your thoughts are on that. Um, and then also, when is my anniversary? Was it the day I listed something or the day that I sold something for the first time? So, anyway, interested to see what folks think. Oh, yeah. Bama Jaybird right there. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Congrats, my friend. Welcome aboard. That's what I'll say. That's it. That's it. Jill says that when I listed something was the day that I started. And Shane says, I say the day that you listed your first item. So cool. I'm officially a reseller then, since for 4 years, since November or February 11th. Um, I once didn't list something. Not only did it not sell, but it disappeared into the ether. To this day, I get glimpses out of the corner of my eye. I turn and it's gone. Exactly. Yeah. It's not gonna sell if it's not listed. Yes, totally agree. I think being active in all aspects helps. Answering messages, listing, send and responding to offers, making adjustments to listings, etc. But listing is definitely a big part. Yeah, 100% agreed with that, Josh. That there is no substitute, whether you're promoting, whether you're running sales, whatever, whether you have the lowest shipping, the lowest price, whatever. There is no substitute for listing. Just list, list, list. If you are consistent with that, you're gonna get sales. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say if you're listing, stuff that people don't want, you're probably not gonna sell that. But yeah, just staying active in your store, list, new stuff that you get. Larry says also listed. Um, I'd go with listing first item as well. Okay, so everybody says I am officially 4 years into this. Um, if you list it, we will buy, Jill says. I sell way more on days I list more. You know what, Chris? That's a super good point. When I do get lax, because, like all of us, I think, we get lax from time to time, and, I might not list something today or tomorrow or something like that. Or even if I go for a little bit of time, maybe, on a vacation or I'm away for a few days, it just seems like as soon as I start back into listing, the sales start to come in, whatever, department. I try to list, things in light categories. A lot of times that's the way that I like to do it. The last here recently, I've just been listing stuff all over. I go out, I pick up a tub, I pick up a bag, I pick up a box, and I just try to address everything in that box that's in the death pile and just get it listed. Is there's a lot of things that you just put to the side because, "Oh, I don't have time to test. I don't wanna clean up those shoes. I don't wanna, test that video game system or something like that." And I've been just picking it up and addressing it, and I have found that that has really helped in my sales, not only to move those new items along, but it gives it that activity, and, in that in combination with this end and relist or sell similar stuff, um Christo, I swear you could sell during a natural disaster. Greatest of all time. Um, if you're free Friday night, 7:30, that's I can say 7:30 PM Eastern time. Defend the Hustle is back at Buffalo Picker and Cruise. So there's a link for that. Yeah. Go over there right now. Click on that notify me button, hit that link. Um, Defend the Hustle. I don't think I've watched that one, Lisette. I'm excited to check it out. How about this clock right here? This desk clock, that's like the outside of it is actually like a foamy, sort of like a real dense foam. Just your basic electric alarm clock. I got that. I believe that was a Jill's basement pick, which is the greatest place to source these days. Forget the bins, forget the yard sale season. Um, if you have a Jill, like I do in my life, then I'm very fortunate to have. Even without all of her great reselling stuff and the stuff that she picks up for me when she's out and about. Um, just having Jill in my life. But you get stuff like this all the time from her. Um, I lowered the price on this down to 15 bucks. Um, and so I'm going to push the button and list that. It's been in there, probably about 3 or 4 months. That item has been in there. So I'm going to relist that and maybe somebody will see it and buy it. Who knows? Keith is here, Vintage Sports Flips. Good morning, Keith. Good to see you, my friend. Keith also is in the podcast game doing some fun stuff about vintage sports stuff. They usually have some sort of an either draft or game or they're listing top 5 stuff. Go check out Vintage Sports Flips. Keith, let me see something here. Uh Keith, I got you in there as a mod. If you want to put a link to your channel, your podcast, your show, whatever, do that. Amanda is here. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Um, oh yeah. They took about a year off of the special guest tomorrow is Gulf Coast Pickers. That's Ryan, correct? Gulf Coast Pickers? Yeah, I like that dude. Um Sorry, I am late. I was fighting to get a painting pack. Oh, I imagine that's probably some big difficult packing job. I always look through my list each day of stuff that I have to sell, and I'm like, "Oh, easy packer, I've got this glassware or this big item or something that's gonna need a special box." So, hopefully you got that done, Amanda, and it is on its way out the door. Um, Wednesday at 8 is the show that Keith does. Um Let's see, where am I at? There we go. There's a link to it right there. Um, our show from last night. Yeah, go check out the newest episode, and then just right down below where the video is, there's that subscribe button. Just it's simple. Look, you just take your mouse and you go move it down a little bit, click subscribed right there. And there's also that bell. Hit that notification so you never forget to see anybody's show. Let's get another thing listed. Then we'll do a mac and cheese review. Um, oh, I just did a clock, so let's do another clock. This is another Jill Basement item. Look how cool this is. Little desk clock. It's a bowling ball. Got a little analog clock in there, and like some bowling pins knocking down. This was the Waterbury Clock Company, which something made me think this was something to do with Hallmark. Timex is who makes this. Look at that. That's pretty cool. If you're a bowling fan, if you like bowling, I love bowling. I love bowling. I just never go bowling. I should go bowling more. That was my New Year's resolution this year. Go bowling more. That was my New Year's resolution last year, and I failed miserably at it. There's no sense in doing um no sense in making, stressful um New Year's resolutions, but it's still stressful because I didn't I didn't do it. Anyway, oh, Jill had sent me a message. She actually bought this at a yard sale right there. This didn't come out of her basement, but uh, oh, I got other stuff down here to list. Let's do how about this right here? That's a weather radio, Realistic, which was like a Radio Shack brand back in the day. Weather alert, um, tested, working. Some of them you see a lot of times these antennas break off, and this one's been listed for a while. Battery operated, in case the electric goes out during a storm. Ooh, battery compartment was super clean on this one. Use a 9 volt. That tells you how old this one is. Uh, you don't use a lot of 9-volt batteries and stuff anymore. Um, $15, 14.99. I lowered the price of that. I think it was like 17.99 or something. I had it before, and I am again trying to end and sell similar on these things to get them out of here, get them moving along, make some sales. Um, yeah, Jill's was thank you, sir. Thank you. Jill's was to go bowling less. Jill is not a fan of bowling. Jill is not okay. Jill is not a fan of anything that I'm a fan of, it seems like. Um, except for, we don't watch the same TV shows, we don't eat the same food, we don't like the same movies or the same music. We just it's that whole opposites attract sort of thing. I think the only thing that we actually agree on is this crowd. I'm pointing at the chat thing. Is this crowd here? Everybody here. Um, Jill does not resell, but she is kind of a part of our reseller community here. She's always in the chat. She's very supportive. She buys, a lot of stuff from different people, and uh yeah, you can swing by Jill's house and pick up a bowling ball. If you've heard me talk about some of that before, either on the podcast or here, Jill has this thing with buying bowling balls at yard sales. Um, and she only buys bowling balls at the furthest away sale from the car. If you're like in a community sale or something, she buys these heavy bowling balls, and then I end up dragging them back. Um, and yeah, and shoes, which see, here's what works out. She uses these bowling balls. She's going to use them for some sort of like a crafting project or whatever. And, but usually a lot of times in the bags are a pair of shoes, bowling shoes, and especially the older vintage bowling bags, bowling ball bags, BBB, blah, 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 um, is and so, she only wants the balls, so I get the shoes, I list them if they're in good shape, and the vintage bowling ball bags, um, and, move those along, sell them. It's great, it works out because a lot of times you can pick up a bowling ball for, $5 or less at a garage sale, and sometimes people are selling, like, a good high dollar, um, bowling ball. Um I don't know, you are a fan of you, and so is she, so there's some yes, I am my biggest fan. The DOG thinks everybody loves Ken, but, hey, what's up, Joe? Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully, Joe, you got I seen it was delivered, your giveaway from the last show that you were on here. Um, so you are fans of each other. See Patrick making magic happen. Uh, I should work for Hallmark. Oh, man, I'm just waiting for the Hallmark Christmas in July to come back around. Um, so let's do this right here. This is a waterless essential oil diffuser. I picked these up. Jill and I, there was a place that was clearing out a bunch of stuff. It was on clearance. And I think I paid $5 a piece for these. I bought several of them. I think I bought around 10 of them. Uh, and I've sold a few of them so far. I did at around the 35 to 30 to $40 price. I lotted them up in two different bundles. I did this a bundle with just the thing, and then I had also got some pine essential oil that we had bought there at the same time. And I did like a holiday bundle. I did, one of these with some pine diffuser oil and stuff. But the rest of these, I've only sold a couple of them, and they've been in there now for several months. So I lowered the price to around 35 um, on these. We're going to list it, see if I can move now. Multiple quantity listing on this one. And I learned a little bit about multi quantity listings here lately because of a buyer helped me out. I had these little keychains. I'm gonna list that one so it's up. I had these little keychains. They're Little Caesars pizza, and they were like a 1 year anniversary, like they would give to an employee if they were 1 year anniversary. And the buyer had reached out to me and said they wanted to buy four of them because I had them on like where you list a multiple quantity and you can give a discount if you buy two or you buy three or four. And they wanted to buy four of them because that was the highest discount rate. But the shipping was way out of line. And it's something that I hadn't seen or really hadn't occurred to me before uh, in that shipping, and especially since I had went through and I have new shipping policies now. I do everything under a shipping policy. I set all of that stuff, and I had to go in and modify that listing to use its own policy so that I could give a much more reduced rate on the shipping because the shipping was going to be it was full price whether you bought multiples or not. So I went in and I modified that so the shipping was a lot less because it's keychain is pretty light um, to help encourage, buyers to buy those multiple quantities. And then all the other listings that I had that were multiple quantities, I went back and changed some of that pricing. And what I did find out is that you can only do the additional shipping charge on a listing that you are doing like a flat rate for. Obviously, there wouldn't be a reason to do it for free shipping, but I do a lot of stuff at calculated shipping. And if you're doing calculated, it will not let you modify that additional additional shipping charge. apparently eBay, when you're doing calculated, they just figure in what the weight of each thing is and what that's gonna add up to and do the shipping from there. So, I did go in and modify that, um, and, looking at stuff like this that's multiple quantity, I, just kinda went and addressed that in my, um in my listings just so that it would kinda be good for the customer, anytime I can help the customer out and still make money, I'm going to do that. Let's do I think it's time. Is everybody ready for the mac and cheese review right now? Do you wanna see Let me know. Do you wanna see the rest of my items and then I'll do mac and cheese, or do you wanna see the mac and cheese? We're doing Wicked Kitchen, Smoky Bacon Picnic Mac and Cheese. So, um I got what, about four more items. So let's run through these real quick. Kim T says mac and cheese. She's wanting to know how the Wicked Kitchen stood up against the creamy, cheesy goodness of Kraft macaroni and cheese. Um, so let me do that. Let me do that. Let me get that set up right here on my slideshow. Share this screen and boom, right there. Mac and cheese side by side comparison. We are doing the Wicked Kitchen. Now, this is the Smoky Picnic Mac and Cheese. It is smoky, bacony, cheesy flavored macaroni and cheese. Now, the one thing after I got this, um, which a viewer who I'm not gonna name right now, a viewer gave this to me. This is a plant-based mac and cheese. Um, so there you go, plant-based mac and cheese. These two brothers, Derek and Chad, um, two of the world's most highly regarded plant-based chefs, and proud graduates of the University of Common Sense. Uh, I don't know how highly regarded that degree is, but I'm a common sense guy. Um, Their philosophy is simple. They create exceptionally tasty plant-based foods for meat eaters and vegans alike. So we will see. What did Ken think of Wicked? Put that right there. Wicked mac and cheese. Uh, oh, there it is. It's up there already. So anyway, few categories that I go by is the price, the preparation of the item, the nutrition, and the taste overall. And we are going to go right here. The cost of the Wicked Smoky Bacon Picnic Mac and Cheese is, at least if you go to Kroger's, it's $3.49 a box. Now there are some other ingredients that you need. Oh, I'll talk about that in a second. But at 3.49 a box, I just basically skipped all the other stuff as far as, because the macaroni and cheese, the Kraft is $1.12 a box. I got to put some butter in there. I got to put some milk in there, and that makes it about $1.49 for the box. And that is a win for Kraft macaroni and cheese. Uh I know. That's probably they should be good. You like bacon. I know that's people are probably saying already, this is not going to be fair, Ken. It has bacon in it. I know you're saying that. You're saying this is going to whoop Kraft because bacon, bacony flavor. Remember, I said that. So then I like to talk about the preparation of the item, which is easier because when I did the one review, um, with the Kroger shells and cheese, it had that cheese packet that like a Velveeta that you just squeeze in there and the prep was easy. So in the smoky bacon, the Wicked Kitchen, they let me take that off of there. First off, they wanted you to use, since this was plant-based, they wanted you to use a plant-based butter. I don't have a clue what plant-based butter is. I got good old Parquet margarine sticks. That's what I like in my stuff. And they also wanted you to use non-dairy milk. I'm a vitamin D whole milk drinker is what I like. And so plant-based butter, non-dairy milk in there. I didn't have either of those ingredients, so I just used what I had. Now, as far as the prep, they want you to boil the macaroni, obviously, which I noticed in this product that the macaroni was like really small. It was like half the size of Kraft mac and cheese, and you know, so and this box also, this box is a 5.99 ounce, where Kraft mac and cheese is about 7.5 ounces. So um you're supposed to boil the macaroni and then put in like the butter and the milk and the flavor packet. Now we all know that just the powdery cheesy goodness of Kraft, but in the Wicked, it was this like, it's in the pack. Well, here I got a picture of it. It was like this hard thing. Um, hey, good morning, good morning. Doing it wrong. Most margarine is vegan, so you're safe for the plant based. Okay, see, everybody's learning stuff here on Ken versus 10. Oh, you know what is also confusing? I think I'm going to take off this in the background. There we go. How about that? See, there we go. I didn't even know that. Um, yes, welcome to the Ken's mac and cheese review. You know, resellers got to eat, right? Resellers got to eat, and who doesn't want to just eat macaroni and cheese all the time? So anyway, you see the picture on your screen is, it wasn't like a powdery substance. It was this hard little brick of stuff that was like, I don't know. So you put that in the boil the macaroni, you put that in the pot with the butter and the stuff. Well, I could never get that little hard thing to dissolve. It just wasn't. I, I stirred and stirred and stirred, and it never fully dissolved. So anyway, I put the macaroni in there and I mixed it all up, and there were still like chunks of that, whatever that thing was. Um, that thing right there. I don't know what that was, but I mean that was the flavor and the cheesy and the bacony stuff. So anyway, it never really dissolved, and I found the preparation to kind of be tedious over your regular mac and cheese. So I am going to give preparation to the craft. Um, yes, that thing. Nutrition wise. Okay, so this is plant-based. I don't know if plant-based stuff is supposed to be healthier or not, than just, good old-fashioned not plant-based. I don't know how you can have bacon in something and it not be meat, but there wasn't really any bacon in here. It was bacony flavor stuff. Oh, that was another thing about the preparation. It smelled, it stunk. It was like, that then the house was filled with this like fake bacony flavor stuff or smell stuff. Here we go. I'm getting called out. I knew it was going to be rigged anyway. He's trying to get Kraft sponsorship. Hey, if Kraft Corporation wants to send me a couple of bucks, that's great. But I'm just doing my honest review of these. Um, so the serving size, the nutrition on this stuff. The serving size on this is about 2 per container. Now we talked on my other reviews, whatever the container size is, that's one single serving to me. I'm gonna eat this whole box when I eat dinner. I'm gonna eat this whole box when I eat dinner. Um, so the serving size on this is 2.5 ounces, um, which gives you the calories and there's 550 calories uh, per serving, and there's about 2 servings in this box, and so that makes the calories times to 1,100 calories in this box right here. Um, and again, it's a smaller serving size with tinier macaroni, but apparently the plant-based stuff has a whole lot more um, calories in it. Is a serving size of the Kraft is 2.5 ounces. The calories are only 350, so 200 less calories, which makes, one serving size, which is the box, 1,050 calories. So nutrition, again, got to give um to the Kraft. Um, the taste, that's where it all comes down to. Really, I mean, all the other stuff, the price, if it tastes great, the price really doesn't matter. If you have plant-based and non-dairy milk and all of that stuff already, that doesn't matter. But where is the taste? How did it stack up against Kraft macaroni and cheese? Again, we said bacon, right? It's got to be good. Smoky bacon, picnic mac and cheese flavor. It's got to be great. My official rating for the taste of the Wicked Kitchen is the only thing I could think to put on here was like the puke emoji. The stuff was horrible. It was that little packet thing that didn't dissolve. It was gritty. You would get like a chunk of like whatever that was supposed to be. It smelled bad, and it was just for me, anyway. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going to the store today and they're like, "Oh, I hope they still have the Wicked Kitchen Smoky Picnic mac and cheese in because I can't wait to have some more of that." Well, for Ken, no. And that's not rigged at all. This is just Ken going, "Our stuff was horrible." Um, so I am giving the big check mark to Kraft macaroni and cheese all the way across the board here. Um, you know, to each his own. To each his own. Um, it was horrible. So we're going the winner overall is the Kraft mac and cheese. Now I could only end up eating like about I maybe ate like 5 or maybe 6 spoonfuls of the stuff. Uh, it was I couldn't eat it. It smelled bad, it tasted bad, it was gritty, because that little flavor thing, and so I'm pretty sure, I wouldn't have picked up the plant-based anyway, says Kim T. Yes, um, do I have a pick? Yeah, what you're probably asking I don't have a pick of the, um the final bowl or the prepared piece. I should do that when I do these reviews. But what I do have a picture, you're probably wondering, "Hey, Ken, what did you eat for dinner if that sucked in so bad and you only ate like 5 spoonfuls of it?" Is, so I had to go to my good standby sometimes that I eat for dinner and the greatest, well, non-macaroni and cheese related, the greatest of all time, um what I ate for dinner that evening. Any guesses? Any guesses in the chat? Probably not. You don't know. I'm a child. I eat macaroni and cheese all the time. And boom, the goat, the peanut butter, the Captain Crunch peanut butter crunch. I just had a bowl of cereal for dinner that night. I had spent all that time preparing this uh horrible dinner. So I ended up with peanut butter, Captain Crunch. Yeah, see, Patrick, he was curious too. Hey, Ken, what'd you have for dinner? Yes, peanut butter Captain Crunch, the greatest breakfast cereal ever made. It's a staple. It's always in my cupboard, and and so we're going to remove that. So for my money, the Kraft mac and cheese is is still the winner, at least of this review. I got some more review. I got another kind, and I had a suggestion the other night for, I had a suggestion for another brand of macaroni and cheese that I'm gonna try. Yes, the PBCC, the peanut butter Captain Crunch is the captain knows how to do it. I usually always have peanut butter Captain Crunch in my cupboard. I have, crunch berries. Now I like just the regular crunch berries, not the oops all berries. That's a little bit too much for me. Um, and sometimes I'll just get the regular Captain Crunch. Um, ooh, here we go. Cereal. Is it soup? Mm, something I have not thought of. SSK Muckbag when? I don't get that. Mukbang when? I don't what is that term? I need to know. Comes from the Korean word which combines the Korean words of eating and broadcast. In simple terms, you could define a word as eat cast. I love this. See, doing it wrong is just they're just doing it wrong. I'm sorry, I forget your name. I love to address people by their proper name. Mukbang is those Korean eating shows. Yes. Ken's mukbang macaroni and cheese review. I need to come up with a title screen for this. Man, I'm learning Jeremy. Jeremy. I will remember that, Jeremy. I'm going to put that in my list. Is Jeremy. Yes. So, and I love that word, mukbang. I'm mukbagging, but banging, whatever I'm doing over here on this silliness. Uh, but uh, I'm married, so I'll answer about anything nice or not answer to anything. uh, on the wrong side of the interweb. Yes, that's I gotta write down that word too. Okay, that's fun. I love that. So anyway, hopefully you like the macaroni and cheese review. If you want to see more of those, let me know. I'll do a few more uh coming up here in the future. Um oh yeah, for anybody new, say in the chat down there. Today is my folks, Judy and Fred, that's my mom and dad. Their 60th wedding anniversary today. Say happy anniversary to them. And let's see. Oh, I got more stuff to list. So, Ken versus 10, that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about reselling and listing. I talked about that multi quantity, like the shipping costs. I hadn't really thought about that. Um, I picked up this little device. This is a Roxio. It is a audio capture, a USB, has the cords with it, audio interface so that you can hook up like a stereo, a turntable, any sort of like a tape deck capture device, and this is going to hook to your computer so that you can interface that device and get that sound into your computer. I've had this been sitting around for a while, came in a clean out stuff, so I really don't have any cost in it. And I've taken offers, I've sent offers. There's always seems to be interest in it, but nobody ever buys it. So I lowered the price from 19.99 to 15.99, and maybe now somebody will buy it. And I'm still taking offers. Again, at this point, I'm just trying to move some of this stuff along. Um, list it. Uh, SSK promo. More a mukbang for your buck. More, more a mukbang for your. Oh, mukbang. Oh, Mukbang. I love it. I'm gonna have to come up with a term. Put my thumbnails out there. The mukbang review. Maybe I should just do a macaroni and cheese show. Just that's it. I'll do reselling on one show and then Ken versus mac and cheese or something. That doesn't rhyme. Ken versus hmm. I don't know. Anyway, um, over the hill birthday lights. Does anybody know somebody that's getting old that's over the hill? And you need this a vintage set over the hill birthday lights. It's like a string of 10, twinkling or steady burning. The little lights are not twinkling, Clark. Yeah, I know, Art, and thank you for noticing. Uh, oh, there's some quality features to these. 2 extra bulbs, indoor outdoor use, safety add-on fuse plug. Uh, simply remove any bulb and put in the flasher bulb. Anyway, these are from 1994. 1994. They're all in there. They're in really good shape. It's probably somebody had bought these once, used them for one birthday party, and then got rid of them. I bought them at a thrift store over in wherever it was that I was at a thrift store. Jill and I were together, but I forget where it was. Sweet and Sour Thrift. That's where I bought those. Sweet and Sour Thrift. And those are going to be listed. Again, they've been up for a little while. I had them at about $30, $29.99. Because I don't know. I can't find any others out there, but looking at other string lights and vintage stuff, that's where I priced them. I am going to do them at 25 bucks, 24.99 for those. Couple more items. I got this vacuum. It's like a handheld auto vacuum. Plugs into like your cigarette lighter in your car. Boom, it's got some different attachments to it, little brush, little, hoses and extenders and stuff. It's got the filter cup in there. Brand new in the box. I'm not even sure where I got this. Jill may have given this to me. Oh, it's got 120 watts of super suction. Who doesn't need that when they're cleaning out their car? Man, I should keep it. I should. Well, oh, and it's wet and dry. It suck up, water. I'm all the time spilling stuff in my car. And if I cleaned it out occasionally, I would use that. But and I lowered the price on that. $18.99 is where I am at with that. We will get that one listed. Then I just have one more. Come on now, button. I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, it's not you gave me this for Christmas? Yes, Amanda. Well, you worked hard this morning wrapping up that big painting. You're ready for some mac and cheese. It is lunchtime. It is 12. Maybe I should just start making the macaroni and cheese and eating it on the air. Make everybody hungry. Um, I don't remember you giving me that, Jill. Well, thank you. Maybe somebody else will enjoy it. I don't know why this page is not why I can't seem to resume this draft and list this item. Let's click that link. Huh. I don't know. That was kooky. Let's get this up here. List it. Okay. Eating the mac and cheese is literally what a mukbang is. Go for it, Ken. Okay. There we go. Yes. And as Josh says, the Bama Jaybird, don't forget the thumbs up. Last item. Hey, it's tax time. I had picked this up. This is called Neat Receipts. It's a handheld or like a small desktop scanner. um, scan in receipts, business cards, documents. Then there's also software you could do expense reports, to PDF files, tax reports. You can send it right to Excel, QuickBooks, TurboTax, um, if you install the software. But everything is in there. It is a pretty cool scanner. I keep a lot of my receipts, and so that I actually have one of these already. I had found one at a yard sale and bought it, and I have it sitting right there. Trust me, but there's junk piled in front of it, so I don't want to try to dig it out. But it makes it real quick to scan some receipts if you save receipts or paperwork or something like that, and then they all go into a file, and then at least I have that file should I ever need them for the tax purposes or whatever. Um, they are they are right there. So this neat receipts scanner, pretty cool item right there. Still new in the box. Do I have this listed as new? Uh, where do I see? No, it's used, tested, working. Yeah, it had been used before. Um, and 39.99. I did have it, I think, at like 45, and I'm listing that at 39.99. Figured tax season, people, that's why I'm kind of renewing it right now. People might want to go, hey, I need an easy way. How do I keep my receipts in a nice, neat order? Neat receipts, right? Perfect name. List that mug right there. And that is 10. Well, technically, it's 12 items today, but we're only counting 10. If I do some of those um, cassettes, I will do that. I'll count it as one this week. And oh, and then I had a multiple quantity listing, which I think I have this version listed. I think I have 3 of them listed. I think the Christmas version, I have 3 or 4 of those listed still. I forget what it was, but uh, yeah, hit that thumbs up. And again, I had thrown that link in there earlier. Again, I'm not going to be the spoiler because I want people to visit Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. Go check that out. Caleb has a big announcement that he made about the future of the show. Just watched the episode this morning while I was getting ready. And so go check out that episode, see what all the hubbub in the podcast world is about today. And let's see, you really don't need paper receipts anymore. From the accountants I've spoken to, uh, with just prefer a spreadsheet with all your info done nice and neat. Keeping them digitally is good, but not needed. Great point. Yes. Nowadays, everybody does everything electronically. Um, and if you are using that sort of a spreadsheet or whatever to track all of those things, which I do use my own sort of a spreadsheet that I have the numbers in there. I like to, whenever I come home from when I'm out sourcing or I'm out, doing something, maybe I go to the store, I got to buy some boxes or I buy some supplies or something like that. I have 2 like clips on my refrigerator. I have one that's expenses and one that is receipts. And the receipts are like if I go to the thrift stores, the Goodwills, the things like that, and I get a receipt for something, I will put it on that clip. And expenses, if I go and buy, whatever, supplies, boxes, or I needed to buy some tape. I usually buy all that stuff online from like either eBay. I like to support others on eBay or on Amazon for sure. Sometimes the prices are a lot less on Amazon, but I do end up with receipts. And rather than having to keep at the end of the year all of those paper receipts, even though I've entered some of them, I do like to keep them. Maybe that's just me being an old guy and wanting to keep some stuff. Um, I can scan them in real quick. It's real quick and real easy. It makes a file, and then I figure at some point if I get, audited or something like that in taxes, I will. It's like, well, here's the file. You sort it out rather than giving them a bunch of individual papers, and plus I don't have to keep all the papers around. Kim says, "My day is complete now. Thanks, Ken. I'm hitting the road now. Look forward to the next mac and cheese review." Kim, have a good day. Be safe out there in your travels. Yeah, safe travels. And thank you to Jill. And I think that probably just about does it. Um, Again, quick review, 10 versus 10. I sold one thing last week, but that Easter plush is a plan to sell it more closer to Easter. Um, Jill says that she loves receipts. It's probably a good idea for me um, to have one of these private in the private practice world. Yes. Well, Jill, I will unlist that right now and you can have it if you think that you would like to have it. You just let me know. That's it. We're gonna be done for today. I'm gonna go have some going out tonight with my folks, I believe for dinner. Judy and Fred, happy 60th anniversary. One last time there to my folks. Um, yeah, you're accountable if you do that. But everybody enjoy your day. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out, seeing this kookiness, these things that I sell. Hopefully, you got some. I know I learned some stuff today from Jeremy for sure about plant based butter, tax receipts, everything. Um, and see, perfect timing. Mike, go snow. Just finished editing. I extended the show a little bit, Mike, so that you'd have something in the background while you're working on. I'm always thinking of you. I'm always thinking of everybody. Um, yes, happy anniversary to my folks. Um, oh yeah, and my niece, my niece had a little baby. I think I announced that last week. Little Mallory Powers is now in the world with us. So she's about a week old, and they were doing a food train, for anybody that could bring over a meal, while they're kind of getting adjusted to life with the new baby, and my niece, recoups from the delivery and everything. And so Jill signed us up to provide dinner tonight. So I am I can't decide. Go out to dinner with my folks and my aunt, and then we're going to have a big family celebration for their anniversary a little bit later. But I could also have dinner with my niece and the new little baby. I have not got to personally meet little Mallory yet, so I am looking forward to going to their house and taking a meal, and maybe I'll eat with them. But I'm going to get on with my day right now. Everybody, have a good day. Be safe. Go watch Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. Watch the Reseller Clickbait podcast too this week. We could use a couple of extra views. And we'll catch y'all next week.